Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Ask Sibs. It's episode 13. Unlucky for some, depending if you believe in that sort of superstitious stuff. Going to be talking about public speaking, as I've mentioned a few times, trying to shake things up and not focus just on one particular same topic every day, but come at sort of different angles and perspectives. And it was partly inspired by a call I had this morning where there's a company who are looking to do a big sort of awareness raising in their diversity and inclusion agenda, strategy, project, initiative, whatever you want to call it. And I'm looking to bring some more around disability. And so they've asked sort of myself and Purple Goat, probably will be me doing the actual like a kind of conferencey, webinary kind of training and awareness raising. So as a one-off, it'd probably be me, but also obviously, as you know, we work with a lot of influencers. So where I'm not able to do certain talks, or that we're looking to just give other people opportunities as well, we then can bring in other disabled influencers that are very capable of the public speaking side of life. But really, just to talk a bit more of the personal story, if you like, of public speaking. So I mentioned about my back operation a few episodes ago, and that it really knocked me sideways for quite a few years to really, truly, fully recover. And I think there was maybe even before the back operation that I'd be going off to school when I had to go quite further away to secondary school because the local school wasn't accessible, that I just have a very sort of, feel a bit nervy, and I always struggled to eat breakfast, and sometimes was a bit sicky, sorry to be a bit graphic, but basically the sort of nerves would sometimes just make me feel sick and sometimes be a bit sick. So that was before the operation. I was like 11, 12 years old. Then it kind of came back again a bit more after the back operation. It was very much connected to the trauma and the anxieties around that. And then when I was at university, public speaking was, to introduce that topic again in this narrative, that became a bigger thing. Being at uni, you did sort of team assignments within your class, and you had go away, research, put together the deck, and then present it back to the class. And I can remember sort of feeling very, very nervous about doing that. And again, that sort of sicky thing would return a little bit again. So I guess I'm just saying that maybe I've had a bit of a bigger disposition in my teenage and around 20 years old, where nerves made me feel really, really not that great. But then when public speaking got introduced, it's apparently one of the most nerve-wracking, scary, stressful things, alongside I think other things like moving house. But public speaking is known to be one of those very stressful parts of life, particularly when you've not done it much. So definitely remember getting very nervous at uni and not feeling great and not really wanting to eat before doing it. Then when I left uni and I got my first job at Scope, after a little while, I did a train the trainer course. So I ended up becoming a trainer. And as part of one of my jobs, I had to travel all around the UK to deliver diversity and disability awareness training. And again, I can remember just that real nervousness. And I guess it got easier after each time. Sort of practice makes perfect, or at least practice meant not feeling as under par with nerves. But I just really want to impress that for all of the talks I now do with pretty much zero nerves and zero feeling under par, it didn't come immediately or naturally. I just really want to share that human side of all this, that it was bloody hard and it wasn't very enjoyable. And I think, very much like the average every other people that have experienced that have done public speaking, we've all felt the same, right? Absolutely, that part, I want to get that across. So then, I suppose sort of bringing it through the time at Scope, then I left in 2011 and I started, hustling for freelance work, trying to network, trying to make more connections. So I ended up running, workshops and giving talks around London when I was still living in London. very often was for free because I had no profile, no status, was just working all this kind of disability and inclusion and all the other stuff we talk about, the entrepreneurship and business and social media marketing, those three pillars really of disability, social media, entrepreneurship. That now is so clear to me. That's what I'm here to share and raise awareness of. But yeah, I was just working all this out like 10 years ago. But I guess another little minor tip, it's still not yet the one thing that I've put on the title of this talk, which I am working up to. Do not fear, I will share the one thing. But yeah, some other little sub tips are obviously the more you do it, the easier it gets, as I just said before. And yeah, the more you do it, you just start to work out kind of what your voice is, or you find your voice. And in terms of, you won't really guaranteed to get paid for this stuff, at least in the first instance. Sometimes there are reasons, and it's going to be contextual as to what the reasons are, but there may be times that you should charge straight away. But my experience was that it was more important to get myself out there, meet people, and really just add value and just give value to other organizations and other individuals' agenda. And obviously, if money becomes a barrier, you don't get those opportunities. And then I guess sort of coming up to the last 5 years, I had a bit more of a profile. I'd won some awards and done a lot of mainstream media and worked with big brands. So I started to think, okay, maybe when I am giving up my time to prepare and to speak and my energy, not just time, but my energy on these sorts of things, that yeah, maybe I should be able to start earning. So I actually ended up getting an agent around maybe 3-ish years ago. Her name's Louise Dyson at Visible People, and she represents lots of actors and models with disabilities, and as that would include them still getting work as speakers, and sort of the webinars and conferences and all that stuff was still very relevant to her client sort of book of clients. So and then yeah, from that I think it helped me more about what to charge, like what was fair and appropriate to charge for different events within my own sort of level of expertise and profile. But yeah, throughout just learning more, less nerves, understanding what I want to say, improving it, and on and on and on. So anyway, the one thing that I want to share that will make, if you're looking to do public speaking beyond these sub tips that I've already shared that will be useful as well, is really about the notion that you're doing it to give, and it's for the audience. So there's two reasons this works. One is that it wasn't about me. I wasn't fretting if I looked all right and if I sounded all right and what if I messed up, what if I did it wrong. That created a lot of the nerves. But when I realized I was there to help raise awareness of this topic and give value to the audience and made it about the audience, not about me, it definitely reduced the pressure and took away the nerves. But also when you start to then go and give a talk, and because every audience is different, I've spoke to disabled people, to businesses, governments, charities, different sectors, and all of those different, within the public, private, third sector, there's then other sort of sectors within that, if you like. So every time so who's in the audience, kind of age, profile, but what do they really want to know? What do they need to hear in terms of, furthering their own journey, whether it's about disability or entrepreneurship? And so then my talks got better because I was creating the narrative of the talk and sharing relevant stories to articulate my points in a way that was appropriate for each individual bespoke audience, if you like. So yeah, the big one thing is it's not about you as an individual. It's about the people that are there to watch and listen, whether it's webinars and in-person conferences, but the people that are attending and giving up their time to hear what you've got to say. And that shifted it for me. And I think if you look at it that way in your world, it will shift a lot for you. And definitely let me know if you already do that. Have you found the same? If you implement it in the next few weeks, let me know if it makes a difference. And I'm very sure it will. But yeah, definitely, it's not about you. It's about your audience. That's the big tip. We've got Leonora saying, reassured to know my butterflies are normal, absolutely. Trish saying, good afternoon, Martin. So hello back to you, Trish. And Leonora saying, how did you find your agent? I think it was through other disabled sort of influencers and speakers I asked around. And there's actually a lot more popped up. Louise was one of the first to become an agent for disabled talent. Amazing lady, real trailblazer. And then, there are various other agents that are now on the scene, which is a testament to how much more disabled talent there is out there. So I'm 1 minute late for my 2 o'clock meeting. I'm always cutting it a bit fine, but I hope it was interesting and useful hearing my journey of public speaking, and also my big one tip that I hope helps you get a bit less butterflies, as Leonore was saying, and generally, be able to be a more confident and comfortable public speaker, whether it's a profession or whether it's just part of your everyday job, or raising awareness for a social issue that you care deeply about. Public speaking is obviously a very, very powerful way to get different messages out there. All right, have a lovely afternoon. I will see you tomorrow, last day of the week, for the last episode of this week of Ask Sibs. Take care. Bye-bye.